Forces Remembrance Day.
January 15th each year is set aside by the government to honor its military personnel who died in the line of duty. The day is marked with a colorful ceremony to acknowledge the sacrifices paid to secure the country by those popularly referred to as unknown soldiers. From those who died during the Civil War to those killed by insurgents in the northeast, as well as those who died fighting banditry in states like Zamfara, Katsina and Sokoto. In the light of the ceremony, the government continues to give assurances of their support for families of the fallen heroes. The wives of the fallen heroes were also at the National Arcade to join in the celebration of their spouses. They are, however, worried about their welfare long after the death of their spouses.
I would like the government, to please provide a place for the widows, so that each widow can have a house or a place to stay after leaving the barracks, and then to give some of the widows, as much as possible, employment.
There's just been from one problem, one issue to the other. It has never been easy. Just the life of two people, and just one person is playing the role. So it's been difficult all through.
Only recently, some ex-military men were at the Ministry of Finance to lay their grievances. Though now feeble, they chanted songs reminding themselves of the good old days when they served their fatherland. Now, they want the government to pay their entitlement.
We have come here to protest non-payment of our minimum wage approved by the president. Over 20 months now, we have not been paid.
Rest is sweet after labor is the popular slogan of the pensioners, but for the majority of these senior citizens who serve their fatherland with their strength, rest is not as sweet as it should be.
Well, joining us here to discuss the Armed Forces Remembrance Day and the issues arising therefrom, we have a retired Army officer, Colonel Tony Nyam. Thank you for joining us on the News at 10 tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now, a day like this, when our fallen heroes are remembered for their sacrifice to our fatherland, for you, one who has served in that capacity, what are the memories that come to you on a day like this?
It's always a day, it's an interesting day in the sense that it's a day, when I was a young boy, my dad served in the Second World War, and since then, it's been a tradition to remember those who lost their lives and those who served to defend what I would call our freedom. And I think it's the greatest day in that people who give their lives, who served to protect the people in every country of the world, are people who are special, and as such, they should be treated as such. And like the cry by some of those who lost their husbands needs to be heard by government. I have 3 relations who died in the Northeast in the last 3 years. And their wives, after having stayed for some time in the barracks, are later left with no houses to go to. So I think it is important that the government makes it a priority to provide accommodation for these widows in any place they want.
And perhaps not just that, because they're also complaining of irregular pension and several other allowances. But, many wonder why this is happening and, what government can do.
I think the other thing also that I think those who may have members of the fallen heroes there should be a percentage of admissions into the Defense Academy or the Army to be reserved for these families of these fallen heroes. To start with, they are courageous people, and the Army needs to maintain the tradition of courage. And where else can you get that group, if not from families of fallen heroes. So in India and other places, most ex-soldiers' family are guaranteed. In Nigeria at the moment, the politicians seems to have been displacing and favoring and leaving aside members of the armed forces who are willing to be soldiers and who can in fact be better soldiers than anybody.
But isn't there no law that helps this cause?
There's no law that guarantees giving a chance, making a place. So maybe it's a high time there should be law made that there should be some percentages reserved for members of fallen heroes. And I think it's really worth it, because it is no joke sacrificing and dying for the country. And not the only way we can get back and encourage more people to do that is by taking care of their family.
Absolutely. How much do you think Nigerians are perhaps appreciating and supporting the armed forces? How better do you expect them to do this?
I think, first of all, the ordinary Nigerian is not as informed about what it takes and the loss of lives being experienced. It's only when it hits a member of your family, like I have had 3 members, that you really go through the pain. The government, which should be in charge, the president right now he's been good in trying to cater for the welfare of retired men, but there are still some fences around the president that doesn't allow the president get to know about the plight of those who are still disadvantaged.
So a lot of work needs to be done. Well, I would like to thank you so much, retired Army officer Colonel Tony. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you.